Hello, everyone. I'm Regina Gill, founder and executive director of Gold Coast Arts. Today, we're going to be having a conversation with a fascinating individual, an actor whose work has made him an international icon and who is probably most well known for his role as Abu Nazir in the Emmy Award winning Showtime series Homeland. However, he's done so much more, and we want to make sure that you get to know this man of a thousand faces who has built a career on assuming other identities, and his name is Navid Negahban. This conversation is part of a series that we're doing, a Cultural Insider series, that will bring the most fascinating people in the world of culture, art, music, dance, theater, and film to you so that you can get to know them in a new context. Navid Negahban, though sometimes actually called Man of a Thousand Faces, which for some of you will conjure up Lon Chaney, has done some amazing work with some of the most interesting and famous actors in the world. In the case of Homeland, Claire Danes, Mandy Patinkin, Damian Lewis. Among his many fans for that show, and I'm sure that all of you know that show, which recently ended its very successful run. Among his fans were the late Israeli President Shimon Peres and then President Barack Obama. And I'm sure there were a lot of fans around the world in great positions who did not miss an episode while he was the man you love to hate. Navid continued his career and will be talking to us about his career and some of the work that he's done since Homeland and before Homeland. How did this young boy from Iran emerge as an international star on American television? He has done work with Clint Eastwood in American Sniper opposite Bradley Cooper. He did work in Charlie Wilson's War with Tom Hanks, Julia Roberts, and Amy Adams. Words and Pictures with Clive Owens and Juliette Binoche. He's worked with Tobey, Maguire, Jake Gyllenhaal, Jonathan Rhys Meyers, John Hurt, you name it. He's had the most amazing access to some great, great acting, and in response, he's demonstrated great acting himself. So without any further ado, I'd like you to join me for the conversation that I had with Navid Negahban in LA, thanks to the miracle of technology. Ladies and gentlemen, Navid Negahban.
Hello, everyone. We're here today to welcome Navid Negahban, the man of a thousand faces. He took that title away from Lon Chaney, and he is still my hero for a man who has had a most varied and original career, and for a man who is honestly, my opinion, the kindest, most charming, sweet, and generous person. To be constantly portraying terrorists and evil people is a case of you must be like the greatest actor ever that you can do that you can dig in and find whatever it is. So let me welcome Navid Negahban. A pleasure to see you again, my friend.
Thank you so much, Annie. Thanks to see you again, Regina. It's amazing. Good to be here. It's been a while. Good to see you again.
It has been a while. We had, for the benefit of those who didn't have the pleasure of meeting Navid in person, he was our honoree. He was our artist of distinction. I actually took a photograph of the award, which I guess I just couldn't part with it because I have it sitting, and I took a picture of it, and it will be going out in the mail very soon.
I'm waiting to see that award again.
You will. I actually sent you a text of it, so you'll see that it exists, and you'll see your name is there, and it's safe and sound. But all kidding aside, you were an honoree that evening for us. You were presented with your award by Michael Cuesta, who was the director of Homeland, and who spoke so warmly and told some wonderful anecdotes about his time with you when he was directing you in Homeland. For those people who maybe forgot or who missed since Homeland just ended, the last season, in the first, was it the first 2 seasons, you were the man everybody loved to chase. So you were Abu Nazir. You were the, right?
Yes, yes, it was good. It was a Homeland was for me was a very, at the time that Homeland came out, it was a very revolutionary show for our television, and the character Abu Nazir was a very it, Homeland was a very pivotal moment in my life and my career, and it completely changed my life, and I'm forever I will be grateful.
And we're grateful for your portrayal, because since that time there are some, I mean, Fauda comes to mind now as a show that people watch when they want to see how that activity happens. But you're right, it was a pivotal moment in television, and you knew that don't bother calling anybody, because when Homeland was on, nobody was available to talk.
Yes, I know. It was a good run, and actually, the I loved how it ended. The show was it was very emotional. It brought tears to my eyes, and it was a good journey. Good journey.
Well, let's go back and start at the beginning of that journey, shall we? You're not a person who lives in LA. So although you live in LA, and through the miracle of technology, you and I are able to have this conversation. But where did you start? What were your early beginnings?
I started. I started acting when I was a kid. I used to do school plays, but in Mashhad, Iran.
Mashhad.
And then during the war between Iran and Iraq, I left Iran. I went to Turkey, from Turkey to Bulgaria, from Bulgaria to Germany, and I ended up applying for asylum in Germany. For a while, I was in a refugee camp, and after that, I was placed in Kaiserslautern, which is a city in Rhineland Falls, and they had a theater company. And I remember my very first play that I did was Sunday in Park with George, and I was see, the thing is that along the way, universe is handing you gifts and giving you tools that you don't know why you are being handed to, but later on you can use it in your life. I had a friend who was deaf, and he was taking me, when I was in Iran, he was taking me to his theater company, and I went there and I saw how they are doing pantomime. I fell in love with it. So I used to go and practice with them and learn from them. And when they were doing Sunday in Park with George in Germany, the director was looking for an actor who can portray George's emotions while he's singing and traveling through the park, because he wanted to have kind of like a fade effect in the storyline, from one storyline into another storyline. And that gave me a chance to my training that I had in Iran with this deaf theater company gave me the opportunity to work in Germany.
Amazing.
And get the part. And for me, it has always been, everything that crosses my path is like is like a gift, and everybody who's crossing my path is my teacher. If I'm not so self-centered, then I can learn something from them. No matter who they are, that person is there to teach me something at that given moment. The reason that this person was placed on my path is to deliver a message. Am I open to receive it or not?
That's the challenge.
Yeah, that's the challenge. That's on me. I talk too much, but I have to tell you this story.
This is about you. So you're
All
actually
right,
supposed to talk.
all right, thank you. This is very, this was something that happened, my gosh, over 24 years ago, 25 years ago, and I still remember it. I used to live in San Diego, and at that time they just opened the toll road, the toll road 73. So you had to go and you had to go through the booths to pay for the toll and pass. And I would drive from San Diego to come to Los Angeles for auditions, and I would go back. And it was a gentleman. It was an African American gentleman, missing couple teeth. The face was so leathered and old and aged that you look at him, you could see the map of his journey on his face, and it was fascinating.
Wow.
And every time I would cross, I would make sure that I would go through his booth to pay. And every time I would cross, he would smile at me with this toothless smile, and he would say, when I'm done, he would say, "Have a fantastic day, no matter what." And it would warm my heart. I would go through and I would drive to Los Angeles. Have a fantastic day, no matter what. Have a fantastic day, no matter what. So what he was giving me the courage to go against everything, all the obstacles that are on my path with a smile. And I learned from it, because I would walk in with a smile. Everybody's looking miserable, and I'm walking in, "Hey, how are you?" So
It's contagious.
it was good. It is. And I love that. To be very honest with you, I wish I could find that man and just say thank you.
How many years ago was this?
Oh my gosh, 20 some odd years ago. I'm not even sure if he is alive, but anyway, have a
Somebody,
fantastic day.
somebody
Have
out
a
there.
fantastic day, no matter what.
And you know what? I'm going to remember that catchphrase. I like it better than "have a nice day." I think that's
No, I
that's
put it on my emails, on my signature. I
yes, you
always
do.
say,
That's
have
right,
a,
you do.
you always say, that's the reason that I put that.
That's
Have a fantastic day.
and I thought that's
That's
so you. And in fact, it's you learning from someone else. Ah. Well, let's go back to the mime piece. Okay. When you were with us, we had that gala was a tribute to the silent film era. I believe we showed a silent film, if not. Anyway, and we had this group that had come in, and there were actors and actresses, aspiring actors and actresses all over the place, dressed up in various costumes. You recall, and one of them we had something like 15 Charlie Chaplins, right? Mm-hmm. And before I knew it, I looked into one group, and there you were in the middle of them with the hat, with the cane, in character, miming Charlie Chaplin. That was glorious. How was that?
It was, I grew up with them. I grew up with Buster Keaton, Charles Chaplin, and for me, it filled it always watching them and trying to become what they are. It would fill in the void inside me. I would be able to become and do. And one of the things that was happening is that, for example, see again, doing the pantomime in Iran, always keep doing it, even in my alone time by myself. I walk around, I'm like a goofball. I'm like a maniac. Sometimes I look at myself and I say, what are you doing? I'm standing in front of the mirror and making faces at myself. And when I came to US, because I wasn't speaking English.
You were not.
No, I was only speaking German and Farsi when I got here.
So,
And
so the German came just when you arrived in Germany? You hadn't had any training before?
no,
And you,
I had to learn German when I was in Germany. And then I
obviously.
moved to US, and I didn't know any English. I mean, hi, how are you? Thank you very much. My name is Navid. Very good, very good. Thank you. Yes, yes. So
Yourself falafel. It's not going to work if you're an actor.
yeah, thank to you, thank to you, thank to you. No, I came, and then I saw on the backstage, West, I saw an ad for that they were looking for a mute trombonist. And to be very honest with you, at that time, I didn't know what a trombone is. So I went to Mesa College. I went to the music department. I asked the dean of the department. I said, I'm an actor. I'm going for an audition. So they're talking about trombone. Can you ask one of your students to show me how you make noise in the trombone? And then they brought the trombone, and the guy came and showed me how to move it, how to make noises, and this and that. And it's very difficult. It's really, I checked my hat off to the guys.
Yeah.
So I went to the audition, and I walked in. I saw that everybody's standing there. They are checking this spit valve, and they're cleaning up their trombones, and they have this magnificent cases, magnificent trombones. And I walk in and I said, what the hell am I doing here? This is not, what am I doing here? And then they called me, and I went in, and they handed me a trombone, and so, okay, this is it. So I did what I was supposed to do. And
what was that? What did they expect of you?
To reveal, to convey emotions through the movement of the trombone when you're sliding the trombone back and forth in your face and in your eyes and your body, to be able to move with the music. And when you're doing it, then you show your emotions.
Got it.
And I did it. I left. I got a call from the director, and the director told me, I really loved what you did. It was amazing. But my problem is that the character that I'm looking for is someone shorter. And please forgive me, this is his words, it's not my words. And he said that you're too good looking for the character. The character that I'm looking for is just somebody who is very meek and small. And I said, why don't you give me a chance? Let me come and meet with you again. He said, yeah, I have a callback. I have 2 other guys that I have in mind. So if you want, you can come during the callback. I said, okay, fine. I will come through the callback. Now I'm the tallest between all of them. What I did, I went to the store. I went to a secondhand store. I bought one of those tail coats and the frogs, the old tuxedos. Then I got a piece of fabric. I made a bow tie of it, and I got a vest, and I had a huge baggy pants. And when you're standing in the baggy pants, when you're standing straight, you're tall. But when you bend your knees, they don't see your height. Right. They don't see that your knees are bent because the pants is so big. So I went home, and I had a shoebox. I cut the shoebox. I made a straw hat. I had a spray. I bought a can of black spray. I sprayed it black, and I wore I still have the outfit. I wore that.
I want to see that picture.
I wore that outfit. Actually, that picture I will post it. I should be posting. I should be sending it to you.
It's a marvel of ingenuity.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah. So I went to the audition. The director, Greg Durbin, he opened the door. He looked at me, and that was his face.
Yeah, I bet.
Now in the audition, I'm standing originally when we met, we are the same size, the same height. And now he has to look down at me, and I'm this teeny tiny guy standing there and just looking up at him.
Ah,
So I got the part.
of course you did.
That part, the name of the movie is Boundaries. Is a 20-minute short movie. That film won over 20 awards. I was nominated for Best Actor in it at the Method Fest. The
Wow.
film won the grand jury at the Slam Dance. And it was screened at the Egyptian Theater in Los Angeles. And that was kind of my opening.
That was your
thought-
audition film. Wow. That's fantastic. What a great story.
Yeah.
But
I'm very proud of that film. I'm very proud of that film.
Well, you should also be proud of yourself for having had the perseverance and the creativity to solve that particular problem. How do you solve the problem of being too good looking and too tall?
Oh, no, the
Boo,
thing.
boo.
Now I have no hair left.
Don't worry. Don't worry. That's great.
No, it was good. Even I remember. I think I sent you a picture. You saw when I did my very first play. I would say, and I was a first grader, and they were looking for a fifth grader to play that role.
Oh.
So, and I memorized all the lines. I still remember those lines. And I went.
How lines go? Because we have some Farsi speakers who are out here who will be.
Oh,
happy.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
So, the character that I'm playing, this character, the picture that you'll see, I am playing. I'm playing in Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda is somebody who is marrying two people to each other.
Oh, okay.
So the lines was like this. انکهت و زبشت و دسترخت تو مدبخت و سه چهار تا کله قند کمی نقل و نبات و شیرینی حالا راضی شدی؟ عروس خانم دوباره میخوانم درست گوش بده انکهت و زبشت و دسترخت تو مدبخت و سه چهار تا کله قند کمی نقل و نبات و شیرینی حالا راضی شدی؟ So
What did you just say?
This is, it is, oh my gosh, you want me to translate it? There is no.
That's a lot of lines, and you were what, 6 years old?
And no, I was 8. And the play goes longer. But this was the phrase. And when I did that, we were going to a private school, and especially in Iran at that time, everybody is so proper and very rigid, and everybody dressed and they're sitting. It's like that you're going to a symphony hall when you're going to do just a school play. The audience, that's the way that they look.
Wow.
And when I walked in, I was up there, and these people, they couldn't stop laughing. I would move my hand, they would move my hand with my hand, and I would do whatever I wanted to do. And these people, they became live. And I felt, oh my gosh, this is what I want. This is great. This is amazing.
You got the bug.
And that was it.
So that was 8 years old, and you knew you wanted to be an actor.
I've always, and actually they showed me pictures. My mom showed me some pictures later on. When I was 3 years old, I'm sitting and trying to sing, and me dressed up as a cowboy, running around and trying to be a cowboy, which I ended up becoming a cowboy. I used to do live Western shows. It took me over 29 years. And I ended up playing a cowboy in live Western shows that we had in Old Town San Diego.
Wow.
It was incredible feelings. And then when I did that, I posted that picture, and then my nephew, Surush, found the picture from the time that I was, I think, 4 years old in Iran. I'm dressed in a cowboy outfit, And when you compare both pictures, you will see that my face and the way that I'm holding my gun and the way that I'm standing is exactly, I mean, nothing has changed. Is exactly the same
Wow.
4-year-old kid now in a 33-year-old body. So it was, I think I never lost a kid in sight.
Don't ever lose that kid. That's for sure. I can tell you. So wait, so we're moving along. We've left Germany. Why have we left Germany?
Because I wanted to pursue acting. I mean, in Germany, I was just doing theater, which was very good. It was an amazing training. I learned so much while I was in Germany. And I was just doing theater, and I was doing commercials and some runway modeling, and it wasn't satisfying me. I needed more. I wanted to discover more. I've always been very curious. I love to learn. It doesn't matter what it is. I need to learn it. And in Germany, I was there. I did what I was supposed to do. Okay, where's the next stop? And I'm not sure where I'm going to end up after US, but right now I'm here. So, and I still go back and forth. I mean, I work in Germany. I do TV shows. I do movies in Germany. I work in, oh my gosh, I work in, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I have to.
I put mine on.
Yeah. No, it's not that. Is my I have you on the computer and it goes on the computer. That's what it is.
Okay.
So.
But anyway, so you decided it was time to explore film, or did somebody suggest that to you?
No, I've always wanted to do that.
Okay.
I've always wanted to work on film, but at that time in Germany, I didn't have the. I didn't have the possibilities. I didn't have the opportunities. I mean, I don't know. It was a different time. You're talking back in 80, 86, 87 in Germany.
Ancient.
So it was very different. Now I go back and forth and I work there and I love it because I can use my German. I can speak German when I'm there, and so it's fun. It's fun.
So wait. So now we've come to America, and now we don't speak English, and we've just boldly gone where we have always dreamed of going. And tell us about how you got from, which city was it in Germany?
I was at the end. I was in Frankfurt.
In Frankfurt. Oh, I was born there.
I was in Frankfurt. I started in. Oh my gosh, I started my career in Kaiserslautern, but I lived in Stuttgart, Hamburg, Berlin, Frankfurt, and then I left Germany and I came. Then I moved to San Diego, and
San Diego from Frankfurt.
From Frankfurt, from Germany, I came here. My goal was to stay here in Los Angeles, but I was so lost. I was like a lost puppy. I didn't know what I'm doing. I didn't know where I'm going. And at that time, my uncle, he used to live in San Diego. So I went and I stayed with him for a couple of months until I found my way, and I bought myself a 65 Sedan DeVille Cadillac, and I bought that car for $700, and that car is like a boat. So that car became my living room, my bedroom. The trunk was filled with all my stuff, and that was me being on the road.
Okay. So, and how did you remedy the, did you take classes in English, or did you just pick it up?
I think interacting with the people, that was the best thing. I went to college. I took some classes. Then I got kicked out of college. I was asked to leave and never come back.
Well, what did you do? Do I want to know?
That's okay. We had a professor. I joined the college and I went, and it was a professor. It was I joined I joined the theater program. But I was already a working actor. So I came here, and his philosophy of acting was completely contradicting my beliefs, my belief system, what I was believing to be an actor. I believe to be a good actor is not to act. To be a good actor is just to live, just to be, and no planning. See, right now today, when we started our conversation, we had a goal, but we never planned how it's going to go. It is there. Whatever happens, it happens. And I remember it was we had our finals, and a couple of the students that were struggling to find the journey, find the character and the journey of the piece. And they talked to me and they said, "No, we don't know how to get there." I said, "Well, to be very honest with you, in my opinion, your super objective, your goal, your main objective, the philosophy of the training was that you have to have a main objective, a super objective. Then you have to be manipulating every step. Every step gets you to another objective. In order, you have to drive it to get to your super objective. So you have to be the one who's driving the scene. I think that the scene, the situation is what's driving you. And I told him, I said, this morning when you woke up and you came over here, did you know that you're going to be talking to me? They said, no. I said, yeah, but you knew that you are going to school. They said, yes. I said, okay, that's what you knew. But now you're coming to school, you're talking to me, we are having this conversation. You never planned to have this conversation with me. They said, no, we didn't. I said, yeah, that's what your scene is about. See, the scene, you know the beginning of the scene. You know how you start your conversation. How it's going to end up is not yours to control. You just need to be honest and truthful to every moment, every second that's happening, and then let that take you. Get lost in that moment, in that environment, and whatever comes out of it, that's what it is.
By the way, that is exactly when you talk about process versus product, that you have to enjoy the process and then look at the product and let it speak to you. That's what, I'm a visual artist, and that's the way I was trained. So similarly to the acting.
That's exactly what it is. We did the finals. I told them, the beginning, go and improvise 5 minutes before the beginning in your head, and then the beginning is the start, and then go for it.
Okay.
They did it. Everybody was sitting there, and it was amazing. And the professor stood up and started applauding, and then he says, okay, now explain your journey. How did you get there? And the moment that he said that, this was my face. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Please. And they said, well, we were trying to do what you told us to do, and then we couldn't find it. We talked to Navid, and Navid told us, no, this is the way that you need to go. So this was our process. This was the professor's look.
Uh-oh.
He took me out of the theater. He said, leave my theater and never come back. And if you ever become famous, I don't want to hear about it. Well, fast forward. I have to finish this. Regina, I have to tell you this. Fast forward. We are talking about back in 94,
right?
95. Now, fast forward in 2011, 2012, I got an email from that professor that I love watching your work. You're doing an amazing job portraying Abu Nazir, and I can't wait to see more of you. And it took me a while, and I decided to write back to him. I asked one of my friends from college to give me his number. He said, oh, Navid, you don't know, he passed away. I said, what? I said, yeah, he passed away. So, okay, I went there. I went to the college and in his memorial service, and I was sitting in the back, and everybody was going up there, and everybody was talking, and they were saying, "Oh, we came here, we were broke, we had no money. He took us into his house. Oh, every week we would go, he would give us money to go buy food." The other one says, "Oh, I didn't have a car. He would let me use his car while he was teaching." Or the other one says, "Oh, I didn't have a place to sleep. He would let me sleep on his couch." I went up there. I said,
He kicked me out.
I'm sorry, but I don't know who the F you're talking about. I mean, this guy that you're telling me, I don't even know this guy. I mean, this guy was was the nightmare in my head, and that's what it was. And then his wife stood up, and she said, "Navid, he recorded every show that you have worked on. He studied."
Yes. Yes. Yes.
He analyzed your every move, and every time you were on the camera, he would call me and say, "Come, come."
Oh, so he was your fan.
"Come and watch him. Come and see what he's doing." And then she said that he would always say, "He was right. He was right."
Oh,
And to be very honest with you, while I was there, while I was talking, before the wife said that, I said, "But I have to tell you guys that I'm very grateful, because if it wasn't because of him kicking me out of the program, I would have never been where I am." That determined me to go and do what I want to do. And I had another professor, Russell St. Clair, who went to Royal Academy of Shakespeare, and I was studying Shakespeare with him. He came and he said, "What are you doing? What are you?" I said, "I'm an actor." I said, "What are you doing here then?" He said, "What are you doing here then?" I said, I want to learn." He said, "I've been studying my entire life. I went to Royal Academy of Shakespeare, and I always wanted to learn more and more and more. I know every sonnet of Shakespeare. I know everything by heart. I can dissect every sentence. But I'm just a teacher right now. Once in a while, I direct something. Do you want to act? Do you
go
want to
out.
be an actor? Go act. What the F are you doing here?"
Perfect advice.
And I left. And I started working. It was a rough road, but it's been good. I did I did okay. I did okay. So
I think you did more than okay. I think you did much more than okay, and I think that all this backstory is interesting because I've taken some notes, and and I'm saying to myself, how did you end up? What was your first? I know this is a weird question, but how did you end up typecast as a terrorist?
I don't know. I really don't know. I used to do when I was in Germany. I was playing. In Germany, it was completely different. In Germany, as long as I was able to create that illusion, the illusion of the character, or as long as I can make that character believable,
Right.
they did. They didn't care where I came from.
Sure.
I played Italian, I played French, I played Romanian, I played Russian. I've done most of my work there was just comedy and musical. Don't ask me sing. I'm not a good singer, but I was able to move. I was a dancer, and I could move, and I could follow steps. I wouldn't call myself a professional dancer, but I was a quick study, and I could get it. I mean, I did when I did Rocky Horror Picture Show in Germany. The director didn't even want to see me, so I would go and watch other dancers through the crack of the door, rehearsal space. And one day, while they were rehearsing, I just walked in. and I stood in the back, and they were dancing, and I was just following the steps. I was just doing the steps because I was part of the theater. And then he started looking at me, and then I walked up to him and I said, I really want to do this. And that's how I got the part. I got an ensemble. It was a part, but it was what I wanted. I got what I wanted. So the thing is that here, maybe the circumstances, maybe when I started my career here in Hollywood, I think that I think our industry was very narrow-minded. And our industry sells through fear. You create fear, and then the people are drawn to that, and they want to go there, and that is what's kicking up the numbers, and the numbers are going up. And that's how my career started. I mean, I did my very first couple of jobs that had nothing to do with terrorism or terrorists, but then it just kind of started. And they were asking me, some people, they asked me, why do you play the terrorist roles? And I told them, I said, I'm not playing a terrorist.
No.
I'm playing a man. Now, it's for you to judge, for you to look at him as a terrorist, as a hero, whatever you want to do. For me, is to stay truthful to this person, this character. And that, I mean, there were projects that we had to, I had to, not that I had to share my knowledge, or my knowledge from that region. And I felt it is better for me to go and play this role, because I can play it authentically and I can be truthful to the character because of the knowledge that I have from that part of the world, than let somebody else goes there and plays a caricature of that character. And there's a misconception, misunderstanding of who the character is. And to me, that plays, you can, as an actor, I can do whatever you ask me to do. The one thing that I will refuse doing is betraying my character. My character is my character, is what I'm creating. So this character can be put in different circumstances, different situations, maybe a little bit up, a little bit down, here, there. That's okay. We can fine tune the character. But the core of the character has always needs to be honest and truthful. Even when the character is lying, he needs to be lying truthfully. And that is for me, very, very important. And that kind of started my career. And I've done, oh my gosh, I played, since I've been here, I played, I played Russians, I played
Arabs.
I played Arabs from all different regions. I played Afghani. I played Iranian. I played Italian. I played Mexican. It got to the point that that they didn't care where I'm coming from, as long as I was able to create that. And please let me make sure that everybody understands. I am not a type of actor who would sell my soul just to get a part. So when I read the script, if it's not me, it doesn't matter how much you're offering me. If I cannot touch it, if I cannot smell it, if I cannot taste it, and it's not there, and I would try to find it. But if it's not me, then I will say, I'm sure that there's somebody out there who can do much better work portraying this character than me. So I shouldn't have that. I should, that wouldn't go. I mean, I would never do it.
So, which sort of segues us into the following. At the time of the gala, the Gold Coast Film Festival gala, Michael Cuesta got up and he told an anecdote about when the whole set and the whole crew, everybody had to go to Israel to shoot whatever that season's episodes were in Israel. And I'm just going to set it up for you, and you're going to finish it because you said something, and I hope you'll say it again now on camera. But he said, so we're all approaching passport control at the airport. And anybody who's ever been to Ben Gurion Airport or Lud Airport before that knows that Israeli security passport control is not rubber stamped. It's very serious. So now, go ahead.
Well, the thing was that that was the second time that I went to Israel with them, and we were going, and it was okay. But when I went there, I arrived. They look at my passport, American passport. Oh, welcome. Oh, you were born in Iran. I said, yes. Your father's name? Mohammed. Oh, your grandfather's name. I said, well, I don't know, which one of them are you asking? Your father's name, your father's father. I said, well, I never met him. I don't know what is. We used to call him Khan. That's what it was. And then they told me, oh, could you please have a seat in that room? I went and I sat there, and they kept repeating this very same questions, background, back and forth and back, turning me around. So I went into 3 different rooms. It took about 4.5 hours for this interview, for everything that I was going through. And I was sitting there. I was watching all these people who are coming in. Some of them, they were so nervous that you could see their pulse on their neck. Literally, it was like this. Yeah, and I'm sitting and I'm watching them. I said, oh my God, this is fascinating. I've never been in a situation like this. So I'm like a kid in the candy store studying each of these characters. So finally they came and they said, oh, come, we need to type your questions. You were cleared, so you can go in. Come, we're going to type your questions. That's okay. I went into the last room. I'm sitting, this young lady is sitting there, and she's typing my answers. And I said, after I answer all the questions and she's typing, I said, I hope next time I'm coming here, you're not hassling me that much. She said, why? Are you coming back? I said, yeah, I'm going to be here in a couple of weeks. And she said, oh, why? You're coming, do what? And she's typing. Doing what? I said, I'm shooting. Shooting what? What are you shooting? I said, no, oh, I'm sorry. And I knew what I'm doing. I knew I was just having fun. And I said, no, we are filming. Filming what? What are you filming? I said, we are filming Khatufim, Homeland. We are filming Homeland. Right the moment I said Homeland, Khatufim, there is a panel in the wall, which it looks like a wall. It slid open, and an officer came in and said, of course, you're Abu Nazir. I'm Abu Nazir.
That story never gets tired.
Knew that you look familiar. Come. They took me outside. I mean, I have no idea. Didn't they bother to even type my name on the Google and they just do search on me? I think they knew that they know me from somewhere. They didn't know where they know me from, so they were checking everything. I have no idea. I cannot explain it. Anyway, he escorted me out of the airport. No checking bags, no nothing. No, my bags didn't get checked. I got my bags and I was out. Then I went and I talked to the producers, and they got kind of upset, especially Gilly. They were saying, why didn't you tell them who you are? I said, why should I tell them? That was a free education. I've never been in this situation. Now Abu Nazir knows how to behave when he's being interrogated. That was beautiful. So I got my free education at Ben Gurion Airport.
That is hilarious. That is a complete and total commitment to truth that you couldn't get more. Absolutely.
Trust me, you should have seen their faces.
I wish.
Their faces it was priceless. I had fun. I'm enjoying myself. I even got once at LaGuardia Airport. after first season, that I was shooting Homeland, I went to Canada to shoot a movie in Canada. So just imagine at that time I had more hair. We were done with the show, so my hair was completely long and scruffy, and I have a curly hair, so everything was like this, and I had my full beard that come all the way down here, and I'm coming back. There are people in front of me, and I see that the officer who's sitting there, they were sitting back to back. The officer is kind of looking at me from the corner of his eyes as he's talking to this person, the person who was in front of him. And then I went, and I walked up. I said, "What are you doing? Where are you coming from?" I said, "I'm coming from Toronto." He says, "Where are you going?" "I'm going to Los Angeles." I said, "What are you doing in New York?" So I a couple of days. I thought I'm going to spend time here and with some friends. He says, "Where are you staying?" I said, I still don't know. I will find. I will call my friends, see what I'm doing. I don't know. And he says, "What do you do for a living?" I said, "I'm an actor." And I knew that there's something in his eyes that was telling me that he's guessing, he doesn't know, he cannot place me. And this is how crazy I am. I said, "So what are you, anything that I've seen, I might have seen?" I said, "Well, lately I've been playing the biggest terrorist in the world." And the moment that the word terrorist came out of my mouth, Jim, everybody who was in the line behind me, it got their attention. Everybody was looking, and they were kind of, we have nothing to do with this guy. We don't know anything. And the moment that I said it, he turned around to his colleague in the back and said, Hey, Abu Nazir is here. Abu Nazir is here." So that was my very first time that I took a picture with any officer at the custom checking. So we had fun, we laughed, and I came in. It's been a good journey. It's been an awesome journey. I have so many of these stories. It's nonstop.
Well, here's what I want to talk to you about, because I mean I could go down the list. You were with an American Sniper with Bradley Cooper and Sienna Miller, and in Brothers with Tobey Maguire and Jed Gyllenhaal, and Charlie Wilson's War. What did you do in Charlie Wilson's War with Tom Hanks? Is that Charlie Wilson?
Yeah, this is a picture that I took.
Wow,
this is a picture that I took from the set while we were there shooting. I was playing. Thanks. I was playing his translator.
That's right. And then Words and Pictures, Clive Owen and Juliette Binoche, right?
Yeah.
Damascus Cover, Jonathan, how does he pronounce it? Rhys Meyers or Rhys Meyers?
Rhys Meyers.
And John Hurt.
Yeah.
Then we.
It was a pleasure.
Now, among all this, and I'm sure you have a laundry list of other actors of prominence with whom you've worked, and among these people with whom you've worked, what were some of the moments that you recall that contributed to your education, since you're a lifelong learner, and positive and negative?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, can't just all be rosy.
Each of them, no. See, the thing is that each of them, they have something. Each person has a gift, and they share their gift with you. I can go down the list what I've learned from each and every one of them. One of the things that was really one of the things that really touched me, and when we were shooting Charlie Wilson's War with Tom Hanks, we were going around, and Tom was so generous, spending time with everybody, all the background actors and all those things, and he was very sweet. He was very gentle, and then he would watch me, and also he would see me that I would walk up, and all these backgrounds that are coming, and most of them, they were Afghans. So I'm speaking to them in Dari, I'm speaking to them in Afghani. They come up, and they hug me and they kiss me on my both cheeks, and I'm sitting and I'm talking to them and I'm running around with them. And we were on the set and we were shooting one of the last scenes that we had. And I made a suggestion. I was making a suggestion about something, and I was making a say I couldn't keep my mouth shut. It was something that didn't seem right, so I announced it, and we both were mic, and all of a sudden, Tom looks at me, and he does this. It's, your mic. They hear you, and I smiled and I said. Then we went, and when we finished the scene, when we were done, that was my wrap. I was done. He hugged me and he kissed me on my both cheeks and said, "That's how we do it." Yes. And I say, "Thank you so much. Thanks, man." And it was a pleasure. It was a joy working with him. He was so generous. Everybody who I worked with, they've been very kind. But that was at the time that I was doing Charlie Wilson's War. I can say that was my very first big movie that I was with. I was doing with Mike Nichols, and we were there. And after Mike heard my comments, he became more aware of who I was, and I was welcome into the video village, and I would go there. I was just a teeny tiny actor who was doing a small bit, but for me that small bit was very strong, very important. And I remember we had scenes that God rest. I hope that he's okay. His soul is rested and everything is good. We were doing a scene and we were struggling to shoot it, and I'm standing in the back, and like a little kid, I'm just doing this, and then everybody, the AD and everybody, they're ignoring me. Nobody's paying attention to me, and Mike says, "What? What do you want to say?"
This is Mike Nichols.
That's Mike Nichols. And because I was so excited. So I was like a little kid. Oh, let me. I know. So I suggested it. It was a very difficult shot that we were supposed to shoot. I think that that shot is maybe if you buy the DVD, maybe it's on the back on the takeoffs, because they never used that shot. It was a very emotional scene, and after I made a suggestion, he looked around in the room, and he says, "Over 100 years of experience standing here in this room." And then he walks in and he solves the problem.
Meaning you.
Yeah. So wow. What are you guys waiting for? Set it up. Let's shoot it. We shot it. And after that, this man took me to the video village, showed me the playback and said, "Are you happy? Is this good?"
Wow.
And that gave me such a huge, it's so important the way that you treat people. One word can change someone's life.
You bet.
And that made me become aware of the abilities that I have inside that I never explored. And since then I got more involved into directing and all those things. So that was a huge moment for me. That one sentence has kind of changed the way that I was looking at myself. And that happened again. I remember, oh my gosh, American Sniper. In American Sniper, everybody, you're working with Clint Eastwood. I was so nervous. I grew up with him. And we went there and we shot a couple of the scenes. And then one particular scene that I'm sitting in the room, I'm talking with Bradley and my translator is there and all those things. In the morning, they came and they picked me up, and I saw that there's a young Moroccan guy sitting in the car, and he says, "Oh, I'm your translator." Translator for what? He said, "Oh, in the scene, I'm the Oh, I said, "Oh, you're playing the translator." He says, "Yeah. Can we run the lines?" I say, "Yeah, but I don't have a line with you. All my lines are with Bradley." He said, "Yeah, but I'm translating for you." I said, "My lines are in English. What are you translating?" He says, this was his face. "What? They told me I'm the translator. I translated everything. I practiced the lines and this and that." And before that, he was telling me how excited he is that he's working on Clint Eastwood's movie. And I looked at him, I said, "Yeah, but you might have misunderstood. I'm supposed to be speaking English with an accent. You are there, your character is a translator, but not in this scene." And the look on his face, and we went to the base. I called the producer and I asked him, I said, "Was I supposed to do it in Arabic?" He says, No. The lines, everything is written in English. You're doing English." And his look, I couldn't stop.
He was haunting you.
Yeah, and I said, "Yeah, but you guys have a translator." He says that he translated, practiced all the lines. He translated everything. He said, No. What are you talking about? We don't have a translator. His character is translated. It doesn't mean that he's translating the lines. And so, well, it might be interesting to do it in Arabic. And he is translating. He said, "Yeah, but do you speak Arabic?" I said, "I don't speak Arabic." He says, "Oh, how do you want to do it in Arabic?" I said, "Well, we have a couple hours until we shoot. Let's see what we can do. Maybe it works, maybe not. If not, I will do it in English." And then he says, "Yeah, okay, let me talk to the boss, Clint Eastwood." We went and talked, and he says, "Hey, yeah, you think this is a good idea? That's good." I'm sitting with this guy. I don't speak Arabic. I don't have time to memorize the lines, and there's a bunch of lines. And I asked the AD to bring me 8 by 10 pages, just a white piece of paper. So I started writing all these lines in phonetically, but I wrote it in Farsi so I can get all the ups and downs on that and all the pronunciations, all the sounds. And I wrote it. And then I said, "I want to go to the set." They say, "Oh, we are not ready." I said, "I know, I just need to get to the set." I went to the set. I said, "Okay, run the lines with me." And I got a couple of the PAs. He's running the lines, and the way that I'm looking to think and how I'm explaining and how I'm talking and all those gestures, I run that through, so I find out which line should be where in the room. And then what we did, we kind of placed the lines all over the room, that when I'm looking, I can look and pick the line and say it. And then when Clint comes to the set, he comes and he sits down and he has a small monitor in his hand and he's looking at that. And after it's done, he gets up and he leaves, and that's the cut. It's the most quiet set that I've ever seen. Beautifully run by him. So we were there. I'm so sorry. Bradley has my lines on his forehead, on his tape on his hands. Clint has my lines on the back of his monitor, is holding it like this for me. Somebody on this side, somebody on this side, and everybody is doing it. And
how did you keep from laughing?
And then Clint says, well, I knew if I knew that I have to hire, if I knew that I have to deal with this, I would have never hired you. I said, well, if you would have told me ahead of the time that you want the scene in Arabic, you would have never had to do that.
Ah.
So we had fun. We came out, and then there is a scene, and everybody was telling me, Clint is too rigid. When he's done, he's done. He walks away. Don't ask for retake. Don't do anything. He doesn't have time, and this and that. They were filling my head with all these things that he's the scary guy. There's a scene that I'm dying in the movie. We shot the scene, and then it says, okay, thank you, let's move. Now they are supposed to go about a block down the street to shoot the next scene. I'm standing there, and he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and it's just, I don't know, my inside, I'm very unhappy. And he walks up to me and says, what is it? I say, you know, when you have this delicious dish on the is cooking on the oven, you can smell it, but when you taste it, there's a spice missing. I said, yes. I said, that's what was wrong with that scene. It looked beautiful, but the spice was missing. All of a sudden, he calls everybody back. He says, bring it back. They're already halfway there. Some of the actors, they've left the set. He brought everybody back. We shot that scene. That's the scene. That's the take. That's in the movie. And after we were done, before he says, okay, move, he came up to me. He says, how does it taste now? I said, it's fantastic. Thank you.
What was the spice? What was missing that you felt, that you did differently?
To me, that moment of agony, it was pretended. I didn't feel the pain, so it looked good on the camera, but it was as if I'm portraying, as if I'm faking it. To me, when I saw it on the monitor, when I saw it on the playback, it was like that. I could see that it's not real. I could see that it is just, the guy is coming and screaming and yelling, and he's just there, and he doesn't feel it. He doesn't even feel the hits. He doesn't feel the pain. And on the next take, everything was completely zoned out. Everything disappeared. No camera, no nobody. It is there. I'm there. My son is on the ground, and that's what's happening. And I'm just running. And I let everything take me at that moment. And that take, it was magnificent. When I'm hitting the ground, I could feel that pain, that shock through my whole body. I mean, it wasn't that I'm worried, oh, okay, how am I going to fall? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? No, I just fell. And I loved it. That
something to be proud of.
That I really like that. See, these are moments that you find through your career that you say, oh, because of that moment, I'm a richer person. That is what you have, and nobody can take it away from you. My money, my awards, and this and that. Somebody gives you an award and keeps the award and never sends it to you. See, that can be taken. At the moment with Clint Eastwood,
it's like the old song, they can't take that away from you.
Yeah.
Two things, and then we're going to talk about your latest project. BABA JOON, which we screened in our festival, and you did Aladdin.
Yes.
Talk about getting as far away from terrorism as possible. you did Aladdin. So BABA JOON also was certainly also a very gentle and a very, for those people who didn't see it, maybe you want to give a quick synopsis. He was a turkey farmer,
BABA JOON is a story of an Iranian immigrant family that moved to Israel, and then it's comparing three different generations: the grandfather who was born in Iran, raised in Iran, and the father who was born in Iran, raised in Israel, and then the grandson who was born and raised in Israel, and how these three different generations are trying to communicate with each other. Beautiful story. I fell in love when Yuval sent me the script. I read it. I loved it. I felt that I know the characters. And actually, in the movie, some of the pictures that you see on the wall, they are my personal pictures. The picture that you see a kid with a chick, with the two little chicks. That's my dad. That's me sitting in front of him, and those are my chicks.
Oh my God.
So those were my pictures that they were used in the movie, and actually the character that I was playing, that character was inspired by my father, me, and my younger brother who passed away. So I was able to. It was kind of like that role was a self-therapy for me. That role was it. I was able to release some of those things that they were hidden inside me that I didn't want to face them. And now I was able to let them free, set them free, let them go. And that film is very very close to my heart. And with Aladdin, I was already shooting a TV show in Germany when I got the call. First, I got the call, and then they said, "Oh, you're too young for it." And then guy wants to see what you would do with the character, so you have to just send a tape in. And I was in the middle of the shoot already. I said, "Okay." I sent something to them, and I think I even posted my audition on Instagram. My audition for Aladdin is on my Instagram. You can see it. And I just introduced myself. I went there, and that was it. And they then I got a call, and they told me, yes, but there's a conflict in the schedule, because I was shooting a series in Germany, and they were telling me that there's a conflict. There's a 5 days conflict in the shooting schedule, and they said that Disney doesn't want to work, doesn't want to take a chance on that. And I said, just give me a chance, give me time, let me talk to them. So I called the German producers, and I talked to them, and they said, Navid, this show was being shot in 5 different countries. We had over 170 actors who were working on this show. And there were 5 different production companies that they joined forces to do this. So I called them, and they said, "Oh, this is great." And I told them, "Yeah, but they're saying that I cannot do the part because of these 5 days. Is there anything you can do?" They said, "Navid, we locked our schedule. Everything is booked. Everything's locked. We are doing this." And I said, "So if that's the case, then I will be losing it." I had a chat with them on Friday. They told me, "Oh, wait, we will have a conference call with everybody." And I think it was Sunday late afternoon or evening. I got a call from one of the head producers, and she told me, "Oh, we were able to change. We were able to change one of the blocks, so that one block, it gives you a chance. It frees you for those 5 days, and then you can go and shoot Aladdin." And then the head director called me and said, "Navid, we talked, and we decided that we will never be able to look you in the eyes if we take this opportunity away from you."
Wow.
That change cost them a significant amount of money that I know about it, and they told me, and they had to reschedule everybody's shooting days, and I'm forever grateful to them. It was incredible. It was incredible what they did, and even people at Disney didn't believe it. My team didn't believe it. They were saying they have never seen anything like that, and that's what I mean when I'm working with the German team. When I'm working there, they are so it's like a tight family. They take care of you, and for them, the money
Was secondary.
was secondary. It was my happiness which came first to them. They say, oh, okay, we cannot take this opportunity away from him. I mean, all of them, they cheered me, they backed me up. Oh my God, they housed me. I had a couple of days in between, and the Disney was telling me, oh, we cannot, these are the days that is falling in between. So we don't need him. We don't know what to do with him. Because it was between the two shooting blocks and back and forth, and then Disney was going somewhere else to shoot. We were going somewhere, so it was a chaos. Anyway, so these couple of days we don't know what to do with him. So he can be on his own here, and that's what it is. And I said, well, I'm here. The reason that I'm here is just because I'm working with you guys. I mean, this couple of days that has to. Oh, maybe I shouldn't even be saying this. Shit. Oh, I shouldn't be saying shit. Sorry. So anyway, make the story short. The German production company, our production company called the German production company, and the German production company said, we would love to have him spend time with us. We will take care of it. So the days that I wasn't shooting, that I was up in the air and I didn't know where I'm going, the German production company took over those days. They flew me back, and I went to Belgium. During that time, they were shooting in Belgium. I went to Belgium. They got me my rental car. They got me my hotel. And I was there just hanging out with them, doing nothing. And every day I would go to the set, I would help them whatever I could, and then I came back, and that's what it was. That's something that it was so magnificent about them. It was beautiful.
So now we have covered a large range of subjects, but they all seem to be pointing in the same direction. You've had amazing dealings with artists and people in the community of the family of cultural musicians and actors and producers and directors and screenwriters and teachers. You've had these remarkable experiences, and you appreciate more than anybody. You embody and you appreciate what it means to be an artist and what it means to be a creative thinker. And now you've been at a point in your life where you decided to create an art center that gives back and provides opportunities for other artists. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes, I would love that. See, when I came to US, as I said before, it was very difficult. It was very difficult. I didn't have a safe place to go. I didn't have a place. Everybody was laughing at me. Nobody was believing in me, and everybody was saying, "What? You want to be an actor here? You can't speak English. You are here to be an actor." And I was just a joke, and it was a huge amount of my energy was always being wasted in motivating myself that, oh, you know what? No, don't listen. No, don't listen. You keep going. Don't listen.
Have a fantastic day no matter what.
Yeah, have a fantastic day no matter what. So now the center, Romani Artists Center and Studios, is a safe haven, is a place that I'm creating, which was always my dream. It's a place that all the artists, it doesn't matter what color you are, what gender you are, what gender preferences you have, whatever you are, as long as you are pure in heart and you want to create, you're welcome there. So it's a property that I purchased 2 years ago, and I've been working on it for almost a year and a half, and I still owe tons of money on it and this and that. is a house, is a 2-story house that has 6 bedrooms. And we have a sound room in there for musicians that they can practice, they can do whatever they want to do. I can house up to 8 artists in this place as a dorm style, 2 people in 1 room. And then the studio space, it was a house, mechanic shop, and a gas station. So the mechanic shop, the studio space is over 1,500 square feet, and I'm turning that into a studio space. And then the gas station, I'm turning the gas station into an ice cream coffee shop. So this is a place for the artists that they can live in the house, they can create and work in the studio space, and if they need cash flow, if they need money, they can work in the ice cream coffee shop. Or we also use the parking lot to set up like art exhibitions. If the photographers, they want to sell their art, if the painters, they want to paint, it's kind of like a community, like a hangout area. So that is what I'm working on. And at the same time, I'm creating an artist fund. And the artist fund that I'm creating is something that it would not much, just to save them, to help them a little bit financially, so they can keep moving. They can keep moving. They cannot stay there long term. Everything is a short term, because I believe it doesn't matter how fresh the water is. If you let it sit, it'll start stinking. So you have to move.
Well, I've told you this, and I'm not telling my audience, people who are going to be watching this now, that following this interview, we're going to air the video that I saw when you sent it to me the other day. And we're going to give them the opportunity to see the pictures and the projections of what you want it to look like. And I think that nobody makes a better case for it than you do yourself in that video. Mm-hmm. And let other people see your vision for the future of the arts, and where artists help artists, and where you as an artist are bringing up the next group behind you. I know that 25 years ago, I opened the doors to the art center that I founded here in Great Neck, which has now expanded well beyond Great Neck. And that's not going to work. So 25 years ago, I founded this art center. And we opened in the basement of a church because the church had a dance studio. And it was already all set up with the bars, the ballet bars and everything. And then 2 other small rooms. And from that beginning, we ended up outgrowing it within 2 years. And then we opened up, and now we're in 10,000 square feet of space. And now, thanks to the miracle of technology, we don't even have walls. We're able to teach classes and everything, and have conversations with great people like you. Without anything, and anybody can learn from somebody like you, or a dance teacher, or a painter, or a ceramics teacher, or the only thing we haven't figured out yet how to teach is fencing. If you can figure that one out, let me know.
You know that I used to fence?
No, how would I know that? Did you?
I used to fence. I still have. I got the 3rd place.
You did?
Yeah, I got a 3rd place when I was fencing in the tournaments, but it was a long time ago.
Oh wow!
I still have my. I don't have my mask anymore, but I still have my mom. My mom was here, and the jacket was so expensive, and I didn't have money, and I wanted to fence. We bought the fabric, and my mom made me the fencing jacket. It's just incredible. So I've done lots of things in my life. It's just kind of crazy. See, back to you, kudos to you. This is what it's supposed to be. See, you had a vision, you went after your vision, you set it up, and then it came. The thing is that when I was talking about this center, okay, understand one thing. I'm a traveler. I'm a gypsy. I'm the guy who with a backpack on his shoulders and is going around. So yeah, for people, sometimes it was when I was talking about this idea, everybody was telling me, oh, yeah, but we need this, we need that, we have to do this, we have to do that. So always there were some negative voices. So
Always.
what I did, I said, you know what? I will do it on my own. So far, I have proofs. I have all the receipts. So far, I've spent over $400,000 in this place.
I know.
On my own money. And I never thought that I would have to ask for help. I thought I would finish it. Then when it's there, they can come. They can come and join it if they want. But let me finish it, and instead of me waiting for somebody else to make a decision if they want to help me or if they don't want to help me, because every second of my life is valuable. If I'm sitting and waiting for you to make your decision, it's a second that I'm losing in my own life. So I will do it myself. That's how I learned so many of these things that I'm doing. I did it because I didn't want to wait for somebody else to make up their minds if they want to do it or not.
I understand.
But what happened is that because of this COVID-19, a couple of the jobs, they got canceled. And a friend of mine told me, why don't you share it with people? Tell them what you're doing. I said, yeah, but I don't want to hear anything negative. They said, why don't you share it? Put it out there. I put it out there. The people, they have been so welcoming and so generous. And I am completely, I'm embarrassed, and I have to apologize for the way that I was thinking. I was very narrow-minded, and that I didn't reach out sooner. And there are people who are calling me on the weekends. Some of these, they are executive of the companies. These are people whose hands are softer than my cheeks. I mean, they are calling me, and they are coming up over the weekend. They said, instead of us spending the money, we are coming up, 7 people coming up. They go and they say, we will go and buy the material, and we will work for 2 days. And they're bringing in their own contractors, their own workers, to come over here and work for a weekend here. I had people who donated $5. I know some of these people. Some of these people, they were PAs that they work on my set. Some of these people, they can't even afford that $5 to send it to me. And they have been backing me up, and that made me now this center cannot fail.
It won't.
Because it's not, we have to succeed, because it's not me anymore. Now is all these people who they put their faith in this center, that this center gonna happen. And it will happen no matter what. No matter what, this will happen.
And that is the speech that we give to each other at my staff meetings every morning and that's exactly right. We are here. The arts are important. We allow the doctors and nurses to save everybody's life. And then after that, the artists will make that life richer. So
exactly.
That's my mission statement. Navid, I cannot thank you enough, and I'm going to get you back, and we're going to talk some more, because it's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Annie. It was a pleasure. Please, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for everything that you have done for me, and hope one day I will be able to host you all.
We take you up on that. Open invitation. Next time you go through customs and you need a place in New York, you have other friends, lots of them. So, okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And thank you so much for being our guest, and thank you all for tuning in. And I'm sure that you enjoyed this window into the soul of an artist.